Good evening everybody, my name's Fiona, this is Elio Moon Arts, and tonight we are doing a project for Couture Creations. We're going to be playing with our Elegance collection again, and tonight we're going to make a sticky note holder. Just give me 2 seconds and I'll just grab one to show you that I've been playing around with. So these are my sticky notes that I'm going to be using. Couture Creations also has these little mini calendars which we're going to be using, and this is the one that we're going to be making. So I've just got this little pencil that I had over there that's been whittled down over time, and I've just popped it in there. I've actually brought some mini pens to go into these. So it's just closed with a little bit of Velcro, and we open it up. We've got our pencil that's in the top, we've got our notepad, and we've got a little calendar. So I thought these were a bit cute. So off we go, and we're going to start to create this. You can use whatever embellishments you like. I'm actually going to use a little bit of Velcro. I will be using some sticky tape type stuff. I don't know what, I'm not sure what you guys call it, but this is the stuff I'm talking about, this double-sided tape stuff. So I'm going to be using this quite a bit. I've got my directions written down over here. Just need to go through them again. So this piece is 8.5 inches by 6 inches, and this piece for me is 1 inch by 3.5 inches. You'll probably have to trim a little bit of that off, but that's okay. So when I'm putting this in the scoreboard, I'm wanting to make sure that the design side is up, and we're going to be using, so I've got a small ball and a large ball on my scoring thing. I'm going to use the large ball, and we need to be a little careful so as not to crack the paper, because this is quite a thick cardstock. So we're going to put this in the scoreboard. Let me read my directions. Okay, on the both long sides. So I'm going to put it on the long side. I'm just going to go up this end. And we're going to score this 8.5 inch piece by 1 3/8. So that's 1 3/8 there. Then I'm just going to flip it around. So I'm still on the short side, just on the other end. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to score that at 1 3/8. Actually, I haven't done that right. I need 1 3/8, not just 3/8. So it's 1 3/8, this one. I did this the last time too. I get myself a little bit befuddled occasionally. Sorry, now we're going to go to 1 3/8, which is here. Okay, now I'm just going to grab this and we're going to fold that in. Fold that. I don't think that's right. It's not right. I've got that right. I don't know what I've done wrong here. So I've got 1 3/8. See, that's right. 1 3/8. I'm going to change that to 1 5/8. 1 5/8. I think that would be better for this one. So 1 5/8. Just fold that one down. Okay, that's better. And that should fit our little notepad in there nice. Yep, that's what I want. So it should be 1 5/8 on my one. So I'm just going to change that on my directions. 1 5/8. Okay, so now we've got this, and now we're going to put it back in the scoreboard. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to take down both these sides first. I'm just going to put this tear tape. I'm nearly at the end of it. I'm just going to put that all the way along there. Just going to put a couple of rows of this in. As much as this little piece will let me do. I think this is 1/4 inch tape. I think that's the end of that one. Yes, it is. So I'll grab this one. Put that one in there as well. Okay, do the same with this one. If I can get it to sit still, that would be lovely. Okay. This never happens when you're not on camera. Of course, when you're on camera, it always does it. Okay, so there's our first piece of tape on this one. I'm going to put our next piece of tape on this one. Eventually, I'll get myself one of those little things that you can tear it off with, like a little doodaddy thing. Now, I've just got to find my little blade that I use. This one. Okay. Just going to trim that one off at the end there. So we don't want that overhanging. Same on this one. So I'm just trimming those little bits off. Okay. So now I'm just going to get this little blade. I'm just going to pick it up, pull that one off, throw it in the bin. Oops, and now do the same to this one. Now I'm just going to fold that over on that 3/8 one. Sorry, the 5/8 one, I should say. And the same with this one. Okay, pull that piece off. Just going to grab this little piece here. And now this one. Okay. So it should look like this. So you should have a little bit of your opposite colour, because that's what we've got for this one to go on the top. Should be showing through here. Okay, so now we're going to pop this back into our scoreboard. Okay, where am I up to? Add a piece of both sides. Yeah, back in the scoreboard long way. So we're going to go back in this way. I'm just going to turn it up this way though. And we are going to score at 1 1/4. That is what to do that this way, I think, so I can work this out. So 1 1/4, which is there, and I'm using the big ball on my thing just to make it a bit easier. 1 1/2. Oops, there we go. I'm not very good with this scoreboard stuff. I'm still getting used to using this. And 1 3/4. So we've got 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. So we've only got a 1/4 inch between. What did I say? 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, yeah, 1 3/4. Yep. If it'll stay on the right line, that'd be good. Okay, so there we've got our 3 folds. So what we're going to do with that, we're not going to worry about these 2 outside scores to start off with. We're just going to fold this in half down the centre. So I'm just going to fold that on that centre line, like so. And going to leave that there for a minute, and I just want to go back to this one. I also want to score at 5. Go this way. I also want to score at 5 1/8. Yeah. And at 5 3/8. 5 3/8, which is here. Okay. That'll just give us our little flap for the bottom. So this piece here is where we're going to create our little, where we're going to put our pen in. So this is actually the top part of it. This will fold up like this. You'll see in a moment. But we want to, what do we want to do now? Okay. So we're going to score this. Did I put those score marks in? I'm just going to have to measure it off my other one, actually, I think, because I forgot to write those score lines in that I needed. Not actually score lines. What we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of marks where we need to put this. So we want ½ an inch. So we're going to go. I need to measure that from the other side. Quarter and 1 3. Make a mark at 1 3/8 and 1 7/8. So we're going at 1 3/8. There we go. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. That doesn't look right. 1 3/8. We're just making a little mark there, and we're going to do 1 7/8 and 1 7/8. And I'm just making a mark there because what I want us to do, so I'm just going to grab some scissors, and you can see I've got these little marks here. This is where our pencil's going to be going. What we need to do is we need to cut up to the next score line from both sides. So we're going to grab our scissors and we're going to cut on that line, not past it, but just up to it. So you're cutting right up to that next score line. Okay. Now, how did I do this? So that's going to be our flap. It's going to go there. And so this piece needs to be pushed. So that piece goes there like that. So we're going to fold it down on that bottom score line and fold it back on itself like so. And then fold this one down like so. And this gives us our little piece to put our pencil in. But what we need to do now is when we look under here, we've got these two pieces facing in. We're going to need to put some score tape on these two pieces, or glue if you're using glue. If you're not a tape person, you want to use glue, you can certainly do that as well. So now I'm just going to grab this score tape. I'm going to put some on this side. Just going to snip that off there. I just don't want to get the overhang too much. And I'm thinking that this time I might actually add a little bit of glue because I don't want this to come apart in any way, shape or form. And whilst I don't mind using the score tape, I don't know, I just don't trust it quite as much as what I do when I use a little bit of glue as well. So that is what I'm going to do. By all means, you do it whichever way you would like to do yours. I'm just going to use a little bit of Couture Creations Quick Dry Adhesive on top of that. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, just to make sure that that really glues down well. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to fold it back down. Fold this one back down, and I'm just going to grab a couple of little clips of these little things. So I'm just going to clip these onto here just until that glue dries and sets a little bit. I might push it in a little bit further. Okay, just hold that there for a minute until it dries. And I'm not liking the way that's poking up, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of the all-purpose art glue from Couture Creations. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that down in between this piece here, because I certainly don't want this popping apart. Okay. Okay, that should be right now. And I'll also grab a couple of these just to pop on this corner as well, these corners as well, just to make sure that it's all well glued. I'll just check this in while we're at it. Yep, there's a little bit that needs to go in here too. Just going to fold these folds up. Okay. I'm not totally infallible with this stuff. I'm still learning how to do it all. But I don't mind having a go. This one, I really enjoyed it when I made it the other day, and I thought it was a nice, quick, easy one to do. So, okay. You can get quite enough glue in that one there. There we go, that's better. So it just seems to be these edges, and I think it's just because you're using that tape and not a glue, because I've never really had this problem before. It just pops up. But by doing it like this, by folding it over in the edge, what I'm getting is a really nice clean edge, which I really like. And while they're still drying, I can probably go ahead and grab my sticky notepad, and I can probably add it in here. So this is the top of it. Maybe not. Yeah, no, that's grabbed now. So I just wanted, when I do this, I just want to make sure that it's going to sit nicely in there and fold up. Okay, yep, that's good. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab some more of my tape. And I'm going to put that all over the bottom sheet of this. So I've put about 4 pieces on here. Oops. Maybe it's a bit of overkill, I don't know, but I don't want it to fall apart. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab this little knife. Yep, that's it. Pull that one off. Pull this one off. That one's not quite. Get that stuck down there, get that glue on there. There we go. Pull that one off. And now we've got to our last one. Okay. Now I'm just going to center this into the top of this one. I'm liking it about there. It looks good to me. I'm just going to pop this clip back on here because they're still not, it's still popping up a little bit yet. So that'll take a little bit of drying. These ones up here are right to go now. When that one dries, it'll be great. So now I'm going to take this one off. That will be fine. So this is how it's going to go. So now we're going to grab our, I use 3.5 inch by 1 inch, and I'm just going to pop it in my scoreboard, and I am going to score it at 1/2 inch. So just at 1/2 inch. I'm just going to fold it this way. So we've got our green spots. I'm actually going to put that on. I'm just going to line it up with the edge of the, I might just pop it on like so and then line it up later. I can just trim it off on the edge of it. So I've left enough so that I can just trim it off on either end. And I'm going to also attach this with some tear tape. I think that's what they call this stuff, or double-sided tape's what I call it, I think mostly. But again, I might still add a little bit of glue to this as well. And this time I might use a little bit of our, I'll just take these off first. So just take those little ribbony bits off. Any time you'd like to come off would be nice. So how's everybody been going anyway? I don't know about you guys, but here in Queensland this last few days we've had really high 30 temps, and yep, I'm not a big fan. I love summer, but I don't like it when we get these really high temps. Just makes life a little bit unbearable. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this glue through that centerpiece, not on top of the tape at all. Oh, my glue bottle's a bit gummed up. Okay, let's try that. That's better. So we don't need a lot of this. I just want enough on there just to make sure that it's secure. Okay, so I'm going to grab my top piece. I'm going to fold this in half. Just going to line it up, push it on, and flip this one over. I'll give it a good push on there as well. Okay, and I'm just going to snip that off there on the edge. Okay, so now we've got our little calendar. So I want our little calendar to pop in there. So I just always think that, you know, sometimes I'd like just something like this in my bag. So if I've got to take down somebody's number or I need to work out a date, I've got something right there instead of having to go through my phone all the time, which I think sometimes is more of a hindrance than a help. But I do like this idea, and I like to have it handy in my handbag. So once again, I'm just going to put this tape, the double-sided tape, across this back area. And just trim up these little bits that are a little bit over. And then I'm just going to flick these ones off again. And look, by all means, you could probably refill these if you really wanted to. Just means to say you'd leave the last page on from your sticky notes. And then you could just add a new lot of sticky note in there. So there's no reason why you couldn't do that. And so I'm just going to decide on whereabouts. I want this sort of in the centre. About there, that looks good. So that's nicely in place. Okay, we're going to take these off now. So you'll see how we've got this little piece here. Where's my other little one? Where did I put my pen? I've lost it again. Story of my life this last couple of days. Every time there it is. Every time I touch something, I tend to lose it. So our pencil or pen, when I get them, will just fit in across the top there. And I'm going to put just a little bit of an embellishment on here. This one I just use one of those little sticky pearls. But what I'm also going to do is I've got this Velcro, and it's a sticky Velcro. I'm just going to cut a small piece off. And then I just realised this wasn't very straight actually. I didn't cut that very straight when I done it. That's okay. As long as you make sure your piece is a bit straighter than what mine is. So I'm going to pop this on the top first, about here. Just centre it a little bit, and I'm going to pull the bottom tape off. And I'll pop that on there. And then we're just going to put something on there to open it up. And there you go. There we have our little book. I'll just find some little embellishment to pop on the top here. I'll use a flower perhaps this time. Oh no, I think I'll go back with our gems. So I've got some quite bulky looking pearls that I could put on there, which would look really nice, but because I want to have it in, because I'm designing these to go into your handbag or your purse, I think See, what I wanted to do was put one of these ones on. These big ones. Because I really like the look of it, but I just think it's a little bit impractical putting it into our bags with something that big on it. So I'm going to grab one of these ones. Well, maybe I'll use a black one this time, perhaps. Something a little bit different. What have I got here? I've got these clear gemstone crystals. Do I want a black one or a clear one? I think I might use a clear one on this. Look, I know these have adhesive on them, but like most things, I don't trust them very much. So I'm going to use some quick dry adhesive. I'm going to put one of these little embellishments on the top. Ooh. Which invites everybody into, well, there was a lot of that come out. Nothing to wipe it on at the moment. Okay. I have an awful lot of glue on this for some reason. Hang on, just let me grab it. I've got an alcohol wipe and I'm just going to wipe some of this glue off because it's way too much. Okay, so now I'm going to pop that on there. This did get a little messy with this one. A little bit too much glue come out of my little bottle, but that's okay. Now that alcohol, the glue will take a few minutes to set, but it is a quick dry adhesive, so it will set rather quickly. I think that looks quite nice with that one on it. It's a little bigger than my last one, but here we go. We've got two now finished. And I quite like this project. I thought it was pretty cute. And it's a nice one just to put in your bag. You know, kids might give you notes and stuff. You might need to put a few bits together. So you've got a little notepad to write down what you need. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today. I will get this up onto the Couture Creations blog site for you, or one of our lovely staff will. And I hope you enjoyed this project. Please like and subscribe if you got some value out of what I've done here today. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you. Bye.